it's Jessii Vee. So I am really excited about this video because today we're going to be talking about some Stranger Things conspiracies, but specifically about season 3 of Stranger Things because they just released the trailer. Well, not just. I'm a bit late on this. Maybe like 6 days, last week. But I think the coolest thing that we're going to cover in today's video is the fact that Pennywise is in the Stranger Things universe, which is so crazy to me. If you guys don't know, Pennywise is the clown from It, that really scary movie that I just rewatched last night actually. I've seen that movie like 4 times. It's so good. But it's so weird because it seems like Pennywise is always just in a ton of conspiracy videos with other movies. Like for example, I just brought up how he's like the same creature as the other mother from Coraline, and that's so random. So it's also so random that he's like inserted himself in the Stranger Things world. So we're gonna cover that in just a second. But in case you guys did not know yet, you can win this backdrop that is behind me right now. This is our new month background. If you would like to win this, all you have to do is be subscribed to my channel, so my Jessii Vee channel. You have to have your notification bell on, and then the second thing you have to do is go subscribe to my other channel called Vee Vlogs. There's a link to that channel down below in the description, and then go turn on your notification bell there, and then that's it. That's all you have to do this time. So pretty easy, I think, right? Yeah. Anyways though, let's talk about how It and Stranger Things share a universe. They share it. They're the same. They're in the universe together. Also, if you have not seen Stranger Things yet, I don't think this video is gonna give away a ton of stuff. I mean, there might be some very light spoilers, but I'm not gonna give away like the whole plot of the entire thing and like who dies and like who lives and who does what. It's just gonna, it's probably better if you've seen it personally, just to say, but like if you haven't, it's not the end of the world, you know? And also if you haven't, like go watch it. It's on Netflix. Go see it. It's really good. This is not sponsored, by the way. I just love the show. Okay, so this conspiracy theory started up because a ton of horror fans started noticing similarities between It and Stranger Things. And also, a lot of people were saying that Stranger Things was heavily inspired by Stephen King's It. And what's cool is that they both share one of the same actors. His name is Finn Wolfhard. I think I'm saying his name right. So he is in both Stranger Things and It, so that's also like a connection right there. But a frighteningly convincing fan theory says there's an even bigger connection because there's evidence that Pennywise might exist in the Stranger Things universe, like I keep saying, but the fact that he's actually like there, like he lives there with all of them. The theory centers around Bob. In an early episode, good-natured Bob is trying to help Will deal with his nightmares. So in the car, Bob recalls his own reoccurring nightmare about a clown he'd met as a kid named Mr. Baldo. If you guys remember that scene was so creepy when he's talking about this clown from his childhood. And it's supposed to be one of the dreams that he had, but it sounded so realistic. In his dream, Mr. Baldo would offer him a balloon. And it wasn't until Bob stood his ground in one of his dreams and told the clown that he wasn't afraid that the nightmare stopped, which sounds kind of familiar to the It movie, right? And some people have heard of this theory and thought, well, it's not Pennywise if the clown's name is clearly Mr. Baldo. But if you think about it, okay, just think about it for 1 second. Pennywise is basically bald. I mean, he has a very receding hairline. His hair starts like here. So the top of his head is technically bald. So when a kid sees a clown that looks like that, in a kid's mind, they might name them Mr. Baldo because he's bald, you know what I mean? And it's not just Bob's dream that connects It and Stranger Things. Bob says that he is originally from Maine, which is literally where It is set. And he would have been a kid in the 50s, which would line up with the fact that Pennywise shows up every 27 years. So if you take his age in the Stranger Things show and go back 27 years, he would have been a kid when Pennywise was around, you know what I mean? It says here that the first part of the book takes place in the 50s, but when they made the movie, they updated it to take place in the 80s. So it really depends on how you look at it. And then you also might say, well, if Bob is only having dreams about this clown, it couldn't have been real because it's just his dreams. And this is the answer to that. It says, well, in the movie It, when people move away from the cursed town of Derry, Maine, their memories of the bad things start to fade. They become almost dreamlike. So perhaps this is what happened to Bob. So all of his memories of Pennywise have started to fade in his brain and he remembers it as a dream. I don't know if this whole conspiracy is like super confusing if I explained it right. Definitely go and research this on your own if you want to know more more detail, but I did find this pretty convincing. Do I think that Stranger Things did this on purpose? I don't think so, but I do think they are heavily inspired by the movie It. But anyways though, now that we have talked about that conspiracy and kind of moved that out of the way, now we're gonna talk about the conspiracies about the new Stranger Things 3 trailer. So it says there are Stranger Things fan theories based on the episode titles of the show. So if you guys didn't know yet, they have released the names of each episodes for Stranger Things 3. So we're gonna show them together. The first episode is called Susie, Do You Copy? The next one is The Mallrats, The Case of the Missing Lifeguard, The Sauna Test, The Source, The Birthday, The Bite, and The Battle of Starcourt. So those are gonna be all 8 episodes officially. It says at first glance, it might not seem like they reveal that much, but fans have dug pretty deep and they've come up with some really intriguing theories that we're gonna look over right now. The first theory is that there's going to be a battle in the show's new mall. So if you guys watch the trailer, you can see that the mall is kind of like a big part of the trailer. And as you can see, episode 8 is called The Battle of Starcourt. If a battle does break out, it's likely to involve Steve Harrington. That's because in the trailer, we see him working at the shopping center's ice cream parlor alongside this new girl named Robin. So he clearly has a job at the mall. So if a huge fight does break out there, he's most likely going to be involved in some way. This next theory probably seems pretty obvious as well, but it's that there will be a zombie-type infection breaking through from the upside down. And that is like the main theory about this upcoming season that people have settled on. And you've seen in like previous seasons and episodes of the show that the Demogorgons and the Demodogs tear apart people with their bare teeth. So yeah, they have like eaten people whole, but what happens if you just get one bite from a Demogorgon? What if a bite actually infects somebody, even making them lose control of their entire body? And then they all have like this zombie type showdown at the mall. And it's so weird because this last episode that takes place at the mall is really reminding people of Dawn of the Dead. It was a movie in 1978 that had the climax of the film in a mall packed with zombies. And then Day of the Dead was released in 1985, the same year in which Stranger Things season 3 is set. And another episode title that kind of hints at zombies is the one called The Mallrats. And this is exactly what someone on Reddit said about this episode title. It says, "It's worth noting that one of the most infamous viruses in history, the bubonic plague, was spread by rats." So that totally makes sense to me, and I think this is probably gonna happen in the show. The next theory is that Max and Billy's mom will be in danger. So after reading the first episode title, which is called Susie, Do You Copy? You're probably wondering who the heck is Susie? Like maybe you don't remember someone named Susie in any of the seasons, because I didn't at first. Although it could refer to a totally new character, which is very possible, it's worth noting that there is already someone named Susie in the show. Her name is Susan Hargrove, which is Max and Billy's mom, who we briefly met last season, so we don't know her that well, but she is in the show. Could Susie, Do You Copy be something one of the Hawken kids says to her over the walkie-talkie? Does she go missing? Or could it be that Susie is just the name Eleven adopts to blend in? Because as you know, her name's just 11, maybe she chooses Susie to be her name? I don't know. Either way, someone named Susie is in trouble in episode 1, like obviously. The next conspiracy is that we'll see Eleven celebrate her birthday, which is something we haven't seen happen yet. The title, The Birthday, could technically refer to any of the characters' big day. It doesn't just have to be 11, but we're initially inclined to think it refers to 11's birthday due to her mysterious past and limited memory of events before the first season. It's likely a birthday that would be a big deal for the young psychic, an event significant enough to name an episode after. The next conspiracy is this monster that we see on the screen in the trailer. It says clearly this isn't an upside down monster that we've seen before, and the fact that Nancy and Jonathan encounter it in what looks like a hospital suggests that whatever this thing is, it might have been a person at one point until it was checked into this hospital and then it turned into this big creature thing. Because why else would it be in a hospital? It sounds like someone got bitten, was sick in the hospital, and then they turned into like the you know? A lot of people are thinking that it could be Billy because in the trailer you see like that bite mark on the arm, and I think that's supposed to be Billy because he's in the pool shower room. So if this monster is Billy, you're gonna want to watch out for Billy, let me just say that. The next conspiracy is that in Stranger Things 3 we'll be meeting more test subjects. After season 2 introduced us to 8, season 3 could see 11 encountering more of her fellow test subjects. Because we've met those 2, but obviously based on their numbering, there's gonna be more, right? There are at least 9 other teenagers out there with supernatural powers whose stories are waiting to be told. So it could be really cool to like meet these other kids. The next conspiracy was something that I was totally shook about when I read. It says that Hopper's daughter was actually a test subject, just like 11 was. We don't quite know what killed Hopper's daughter. In season 1, we saw him crying in a hospital stairwell about losing her. And due to the fact that she lost all of her hair, I think most people assume that she died due to cancer, which is really unfortunate. But there's a fan theory that suggests she was actually one of the test subjects in the lab in Hawkins. Because everyone's saying that when we first met 11, all of her hair was gone. I mean, that's like a crazy theory that I don't really know if I believe or not. Let me know what you guys think about that. But either way, it's so sad that he lost his daughter. Those scenes always make me so sad. And the very last conspiracy theory says that a young character could face an early demise, aka they're gonna be gone. So let's talk about the important characters that have unfortunately died in the show so far. We have Benny, Barb, and Bob Newby, who didn't really have much in common if you really think about it. They didn't know each other, but all of their names started with the letter B. I just realized that I gave away who died, so spoilers, it's too late to know. Whoops. Anyways though, this theory is saying that anyone with that letter in their name could be a goner in the next season. And there are only 2 characters left that have the letter B as their first letter, and that is Becky Ives and Billy Hargrove. So I don't know what you guys think about that. I don't know if that's gonna be a theme or not, but so far they all started with B, so who knows. Anyways though guys, I'm just very excited for Stranger Things season 3. It's coming up really, really soon, so let me know if you guys have any other conspiracy theories. You can put them down below in the comment section. But yeah, I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!